Man, I'm sitting down, so you know it's gonna be one of those ones. This was a pretty difficult episode to come to terms with doing, but I see you guys all growing in the world of audio, and I know what that journey can do to you. It can be tiring, lonely, and at times a struggle to even work. And I think one of the hardest things about our job is that our progress is based on an opinion. A cashier can determine how many items they ring up a minute versus last week, right? And a clerk can tell you how many words per minute they type and see an improvement. Well, when it comes to mixing, it's not so simple. We're determining our improvement off of what other people think, and it's really easy to get lost in that. And even if you can measure it, like let's say you're a guitarist and you can play something at a faster speed now, does that mean that it's cleaner than it used to be? Or it has the same amount of feeling? See what I mean? And since it's hard to judge our progress, we lose ourselves in trying to get to a stage we might already be at. By the end of this video, I hope you have a new perspective on achieving balance in this hectic world of audio. So what's happening, fam? Miami here with JST, and this isn't gonna be a typical episode. We're gonna talk a bit about going down the rabbit hole of audio, our social lives, and dealing with our mental health. That word, health. It makes me think about all the unhealthy habits that I had when I started recording and some that I still have today. Lack of communication with people that I care about, poor eating habits, and all the stuff that comes with this job. It's odd for me because I feel like I have really good communication skills, but I get so consumed in mixing, I forget to respond to family. And I know how to diet properly, but sometimes I don't make it a priority when I'm in the studio with a band. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm really thankful for all of our watchers because you help keep me grounded. I interact with you guys as much as I can and honestly feel like a bunch of you guys are friends of mine at this point. And it actually helps my communication skills stay on point. I set a goal for 50,000 subs by the end of this year, and I want to thank you guys for helping us come so close. If you watch these videos and haven't subbed yet, I would really appreciate it. And now I'm going to tell you how I transitioned from being an audio hermit to being a human again. Transition game, still crazy. Come on, video transitions still count? But yeah, let me get into the topics. Number one, time management. What makes it difficult is a song is done when it's done. It's hard to set a schedule for art, but I forced myself to start trying to have time limits. One thing I want to add is that other people don't look at what we do as a real job a lot of the time, and it's up to us to treat it like one, so in the future it becomes more respectable. We have to look out for the up and coming engineers. By setting a time limit for how long I would mix, it put me in the headspace to stop watching random reels or YouTube videos when work needs to be done. I'm the exception though. You can watch my videos anytime. Try setting a limit of 4 hours to finish a mix from start to finish. This is where we're all gonna have different opinions. Some of you are gonna say 4 hours, that's extremely fast to go from import to done, and others will say 4 hours, I've done mixes in 2. Well, it depends on the kind of music you're working on. When you have a 100+ track mix, it can be difficult to get it done in 4 hours, but one surefire way to do this is to make sure you're using mixing templates. Have multiple templates set up for different genres and you'll save yourselves hours of setup time. If you add up all of the hours, I've literally saved weeks of my life by doing this, maybe even months. So let's say you have gotten to this part. What do you do with this newfound time of yours? Brings us to point 2. Reaching out. This is where you start doing the Mark Zuckerberg. Hello, fellow humans. Start reaching out to old friends, grab a drink. The other day I was out on Long Island and hung out with some of my friends for a birthday thing. I actually met a couple people that recognized me from YouTube, so I had to take a video.
All right, so I met Paul out here, just going bar hopping and stuff, and he recognized me from the YouTube vid, so what do you do, Paul?
Crazy engineer over here. I'm just upstart engineer, metal artist, all kind of stuff. Crazy shit bumping into YouTube people over here up the block.
Shout out to Paul, your cover band Ninjas is sick, man. But the people I was with aren't into the music world whatsoever. And it's really important to realize once you put yourself out there, you're most likely gonna have a couple different friend groups. One that's an audio oriented one where you talk about crazy client situations or the music you've been working on and what piques your interest in the audio world. And another that you start to experience parts of your life that you might not have done in a long time. Golfing, bowling, gaming, long walks on the beach, literally anything that isn't audio related. You're watching this right now, so I can all but guarantee you've turned down going out just to work on your craft instead. And that's okay. But there has to be a balance, We need human interaction. It doesn't just help us mentally, but helps us deal with situations like clients or potential ones. And another point of this is it's important realizing that others are in the same spot that we are. We have huge online communities that we're part of, and sometimes we can see that our peers aren't doing well. Maybe they don't have work right now, or just nobody to talk to. And I beg you to reach out to those people and maybe suggest they get into an audio community online so they can see there's other like-minded individuals like themselves that are having the same problems and issues. Next topic. Family time. This is where it gets even more complicated. You're already trying to balance your work schedule, plan some time to, hang out with your friends, but now you have your family. And the biggest problem I think people have is confusing one thing. Just because you're around your family doesn't mean that you're spending family time. You need to take a day to shut down the rest of the world. Let clients and artists know in advance, put down your phone and do something with your family. If you don't live near your family, maybe set up a Zoom call to check in. If you have kids, take them out to do something that they want because they don't care how your snare sounds, man. They just want you to go play with them. I know, I'm getting into some deep topics today. And after this video, I'm gonna call my mom and ask how she's doing, even though I saw her a week ago and we had a really awesome time together. I'm telling you, this rabbit hole of trying to be the greatest in audio can push progress like no other, but give you a one-track mind in which you forget who you were before. Don't get lost in it. And if you did get lost in it, hopefully this video helps pull you out. But wait, I feel like there's one topic that I'm missing here. Oh yeah. Time for yourself. After you've finished working and putting in your time, hung out with the squad, spent some quality time with family, you're probably exhausted. And it's time to spend some time for yourself. And a ton of us are extremely dedicated to audio, and we'll spend that free time just trying to improve. And that's okay. But if you feel like your progress is minimal, sometimes you need to try to find a new hobby. I'm really into do-it-yourself stuff since having a studio. I built all the treatment that you guys see in the room, actually. I started working out a lot. I lost like 40 pounds since I started doing these YouTube videos. I gained like 10 back, but let's not talk about that part. Yeah, having hobbies helps keep the passion of audio running strong for me, and I hope it's gonna do the same thing for you guys. So let's go over all of these things in traditional fashion. Time management, reaching out, quality time for the family, and time for yourself. This isn't an overnight process. You want to implement these things at a steady pace to make sure that you don't spread yourself too thin. But I promise that after even trying to do any of these, you're gonna feel better in your day-to-day activities. I love you all and I appreciate you. I know this isn't filled with EQ tips or compression tips, but I just wanted to make sure that you're all doing well out there and taking care of yourselves.
If you want to go tell your wife something, hit the like button. If I inspired you to write something, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. You only have to do it one time. And tap that bell for notifications so when a video drops, you know the location. Until next time, I am out of here. Mic drop. Except as engineers we know, I never really drop this thing because that get really expensive. Even if it is a piece of shirt. Later. And really, take care of yourselves, guys.